Meroe Kingdom. Meru, Sumerian. Those are same words.
Okay.
Meroe Kingdom is actually today, as we speak, located in Sudan. You know Sudan area?
Yes.
Up there,
Yes.
Egypt. That's where we have the Meroe Kingdom. As when you go,
Still coming from the word Meru.
Meru, Meroe Kingdom. The Meroe Kingdom was a kingdom of melanated people that existed. They had very high civilization. That even today we have tons and tons of pyramids. Even today, they no longer dig the pyramids.
An artifact, pyramids were built by Meru.
Yes, but do you know where they borrowed the technology from? The Anunnaki who built the pyramids you see in Egypt were built by the Anunnaki, what we call the giants. In my folklore stories of the Meru community, Irimarimo, the giants.
Okay.
You see, when you relate that story, it's in the Bible. Yes. So I've proved about the Meroe Kingdom, which exists until today.
Yes.
I have talked to you about the Sumerian kingdom, and you need to dig about the Sumerian. The entire civilization of humanity comes from the Sumerian. Okay? Who are these people called the Sumerian? They are the modern day people we are calling the Bantu. A lot of our traditional beliefs are actually intermarried to the Christian religion. And where I started having problems with this Christian religion is the fundamental beliefs of this religion.
Okay.
There's still conversations. Where did Christianity come from? You see people talking about Egypt, Ethiopia. Christianity did not come from Ethiopia. If Christianity came from Ethiopia, it should have come from this side so quickly, not from the
because they were not colonizers.
So Christianity came with slavery.
Okay.
When you go, you study the transatlantic slave, where all the slaves are shipped through in Ghana. On the dungeons, Ukuju, there were churches. There were churches on top. So I was trying to rationalize this God who picked a group of people to be slaves and another group of people to be the masters. And still authenticate that verse in the Bible. Are you saying that? So there was something very wrong with that gospel. And when I read the Napoleon letter, which is a letter that was found, it's in the museum. The Napoleon letter was found in a Bible. And this was a Catholic priest who gave a Bible, how the Napoleon letter was in there. And I've been comparing information here. And the Napoleon letter is in the Meru history book. So you can read the entire letter. What was the purpose of Christianity? When the explorers came, they were supposed to send the information back to the people that sent them. And they said the kind of people we found in this African continent, we did not find one poor man. We did not find one person who was like disintegrating from the society. The African society was so tight. We cannot colonize these people until we break their system, belief system, their spiritual system. And we were so spiritual. We were so spiritual. They needed to break our mental energy, our spiritual belief system for them to succeed colonizing. So they coined a Christian religion to do that. And they managed. They managed. When you read the story of Wainga, I don't know if you know the story of Wainga in Tumutumu.
I'll go look for it.
Yes. And you see they succeeded. We had healers, we had mogwes, we had everything. Did you know that we've had the best civilization? Do you know we wrote even before Mzungu came here? We wrote. From my community, words are called Ntemwa. In Kimeru, in Kikuyu, Demwa. I don't know what you call words in your community. Ntemwa means something that is carved. Carved, like Ntemwa is something that is cut out. Like I have to chonga this place.
It's engraved.
Engraved. Ntemwa. I cut. So we used to do our writing in clay tablets. That's what were called demwa. So when you look at the Sumerian tablets, which are in museums,
Yes.
that's our civilization.
Okay.
So whoever said we didn't write was wrong. Whoever said we didn't have a belief system was wrong. We have the greatest civilization. When you study the Meru Kingdom, they had masses of iron melting. Even today, when you go to northern Sudan, Chad, Egypt, there is evidence of, like oil mining. Like we did what Defki mills do. You know what they do with chuma? We did that even before the Musungu came here. So with all these things back and forth, I question a lot of things. Who introduced to us God? We didn't have God. Where did my ancestors go to? Okay. Does it mean my ancestors, the ones that have died, because they didn't believe in Jesus, they go to hell? That's a question I needed to answer myself. The entire, more than a third of world population is Muslims. You're going to tell me Muslims are going to burn in hell because they didn't believe in Jesus? The entire religion, don't forget, the conceptualization of all religion was by the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
And at some point, the Roman Empire ran the entire world. People say the Roman Empire didn't die. The Roman Empire just changed the face and the name.
Yes.
It is the Roman Empire that decided what we call the Bible today. The Bible is 66 books. Where did they throw away the 22 books? Where did they put in the book of Jubilees, the book of Enoch, the 3 books of Enoch? Where did they throw those books away? They conceptualize, like when you sit down and you build a curriculum, when you sit down and build a concept, it's the Roman Empire that built the concept of religion. All religion, Christianity and Islam, okay, purposely meant for control. And when you introduce a concept to a people, it's not supposed to be foreign. The concept is supposed to be close home to them.
Yes.
Okay? So you're not going to tell them foreign stories. You have to bring in the story of Moses, which is their Komenjwe story. You have to bring in the story of sacrifices, which was their story. You have to bring in the story of the plagues. When you tell people their own story, they embrace you. They're like, oh, that's actually our history. So with all these questions, and I've been studying a lot, I've been doing a lot of studies. And when Putin released some artifacts, was it last year? But what? Public release artifacts. And when they say an image speaks 1,000 words.
Putin,
Yes, he released artifacts. The public gallery. Artifacts of Jesus, artifacts of who. Nothing was said about them. These are not carvings. These are not pictures. They were carved images. I realized I came to learn one thing, and I'm a deep researcher. And I realized the people that call themselves Israelites are actually imposters. They're people who have stolen an identity of another people. Because the country we call Israel just started existing in 1948. So where was that country? So you see, I'm relating a lot of information from different sources. So I touch here, I need to relate a lot of information for me to be able to understand who we are as the human race. Israel existed in 1948. Where was it before that? That's the question people need to answer. And people come back and they say they were displaced.
Yeah, sure.
They displaced from where? Until they were promised Canaan by God. And don't forget, this Bible is curated to fit a narrative. They were displaced and they need to come back into their land. Pick all the maps. The 1500 AD maps, the 1400 AD maps always had Palestine, but the names keep changing. Like Iran initially was called Persia. So the names keep changing. And when you look just the other day, the beginning of the 19th century, we didn't have a Suez Canal.
Yeah, it was built.
It was built the other day
Yes.
to sort of throw you off in terms of geographics. Okay? We didn't have a Suez Canal. So what you're calling Africa included
But
even
it was
this
a nice
part.
invention anyway. Yeah? The Suez Canal, the way it works.
No, it was actually the purpose. Don't forget the Suez Canal is even today is privately owned. Check who owns the Suez Canal. People pay for it.
Yes.
It's owned. So it throws you off. It throws you off when it comes to geographics. The entire North Africa are all people that have come in because of migration, war, pushing the African population downwards.
Yes.
When you go to Egypt, today, Egyptians will be falling on your feet. They are so amazed because they know you are the Pharaoh. They know Pharaoh was black. They know it.
They would discriminate like we were discriminated in Morocco.
Actually, they tell you they know your gods. They know who you are. You know when you go you know when you want to get authentic information, you go to the ground. You talk to the people. Forget about these set narratives, these built narratives up here. When you want to know a history of a people, go do your research on the ground. They know the pharaohs were black, and they know everything. They have the entire history. So when I've done a lot of that research, and I've realized that what we call the Israelites are actually the Ashkenazi Khazarians that have come from areas of Ukraine and Russia that have had very bad practices. That every time they've been moved, they're killed because they sacrifice children. They do Baal worship. They do things that do not go well with other human races. They've been moving all over the place. These are the people that stole the identity of Hebrews because the Hebrews are black and the Hebrews are Africans. Then they painted a very white Jesus and they changed their names and everything.
Sure.
So you see, it's not just information that I'm falling onto. Years of research, years of trying to rationalize what exactly is this thing we call religion. You know, to me, religion sells fear. You go to hell, you will burn. But at the same time, Jesus has saved you. Okay, at the same time, you can sin as much as you can, and then you'll repent in the evening. You know, it's supposed to sell fear. So to me, when I look at religion, it's actually mimics our spirituality. It mimics it, mimicking, mimicking, but doesn't allow you to have that deep, authentic reflection of who you are. We are spirit beings, actually manifesting on earth. We are not. This is carbon matter.
Yes.
Our bodies are carbon matter, but we are deeply spiritual. But our Creator God is very spiritual, so that's why they talk about building the spirit. It will manifest in the physical. They don't want you to understand your spirituality. Kapisa, they want you to disconnect your spirituality, and that is who we are as a people. Religion sort of blocks you from that. So the Bible will come and tell you like astrology is bad. They say, you see, the things that my ancestors did, the Merus, when they were in captivity, they used astrology. Yes, they used astrology. They looked at the moon, they looked at the stars. They actually read the moon energy to understand, should we go or not? Should we stay? Should we pray? You see these things. So when I relate all those things, then I realized, and of course, when I came into Christianity, I was expecting, not I'm sure even you're expecting to get good people in Christianity, noble, moral people.
Yeah.
That's what comes into your mind. These are good
The
people.
standards are way
up there. But it's the opposite. It's the opposite. I'm not saying all people in Christian
you find
are
people
bad.
who look like that, but they're not that.
They're not that. And then they speak wine. I mean, they say don't drink wine, but drink it.
And personally, I think I've tried both sides.
You
I
have.
think I've found so noble people on the other side. So many noble people. I seem to cozy closer to people who do not profess any faith. They seem to be very, very good people and genuinely present themselves, the way they are to
Yeah.
you is the way they are.
Mm.
It's not something else. So as much as religion, I will still come back to that. But right now, I wish you to tell me what you know about the Epstein files.
You know, I look when we have a problem as a country. Yeah, I
Yes.
don't look at our politicians. I look deeper. I
Ah,
go deeper and I relate everything. I go deeper. As why is this government behaving like this? Why are people behaving? I go deeper. Because for you to be able to get a solution, you don't get a solution on
from
this
the
level.
surface.
You get and we did not actually the US Iran war is purely because of the Epstein files.
What about the conflicts in the Middle East? Is it only this war or the
Everything
entire
is
conflict around
connected.
us?
Everything is
Okay.
connected.
Yes.
But let me tell you,
Ah,
we actually went to war because of the Epstein files. Because Trump is so implicated in those files.
mm,
And it's a scheme. Okay, first of all,
mm.
the Epstein, who is allegedly a Mossad agent, Mossad is Israel,
Epstein was a Mossad agent.
100%.
Okay.
He was actually working for the Mossad.
Yes.
That information is all over.
Yes.
What is the work of the Mossad? It's just like the
To gather
CIA.
intelligence. Yes.
Apart from intelligence,
And shape narrative into
yes,
society.
apart from intelligence,
Yes.
they want to have something on every leader so that you
Ah.
do what they want. They have
Okay.
something on every leader that they want to control.
So they're holding you at ransom.
Oh yeah, you have to
You
do
want
what
a
they
tithe.
want. And it's years and years and years of collecting data from these leaders.
Yes.
What was Epstein doing? I've gone through those files, the ones that I have gone through those files, and I'm like, oh my goodness, the world is evil.
Mm,
The people that actually rule the world,
mm,
actually not humans. This is not humans. So it started from the small sex slavery of girls.
Even small children as well.
Yeah, it
Please,
started on the girls, like young girls, 16, 14,
Uh,
who have been kidnapped and such,
uh,
and they would be sold for, like they're pimped. They're pimped, so he makes money out of that. Like they're moved, you go sleep with a prince here. Prince Andrew is implicated in these things. And then not just girls to boys. And then it goes all the way to children.
mhm.
Children, infants. Let me use a more polite word.
Mm,
Sexual assault of small children.
mm,
Okay?
mm.
So these are pedophilias. People think it's a sexual thing, that these are people attracted to children. So that's why they talk about pedophilia. It's actually not that. There's a spiritual angle to this. There's an evil angle to this side. And after it's gross. After that, there is now the cooking, there's the eating, it's cannibalism of these children. Yes. They cook, that's why they call it spirit cooking. They cook up these children.
Literally there.
I can tell you this is not imagination. It's in the files. When you look at the Epstein Island, they had an altar that had blue and white. It's a purely a Baal altar. Baal, like literally Baal. And when I talk about Baal, this connects back to the Ashkenazi Khazarians. They used to sacrifice their own children. Like if we are the Ashkenazi Khazarians in, say, this area, watoto wana disappear. Where do they go to? They would sacrifice those children. That's why they walikuwa walipigwa sana those days of, even before the is the Ottoman Empire, those days, because these people had abnormal behaviors. This is what now comes into the same behavior comes to the Epstein files. They sacrifice on the altar. He was also breeding. He was also doing children breeding for sacrifices. Like they bring girls together, impregnate them. When these children are born, they are literally born for sacrifices. You see?
Yes.
And they are sacrificed on the Baal altar.
Yes.
And then they incriminate all the leaders. Mention any leader. Do you know the Epstein files? Do we have leaders in Kenya in those files?
What?
Oh, yes. Even Uhuru Park is there.
I speculate, maybe don't give us exactly, but maybe
We have Kenyan leaders in the Epstein files. When you look at Glenn Maxwell,
bold enough to say who? Maybe
Who is mentioned there? Some Kenyan deals. There's a lot of deals. There's a lot of deals in this thing.
Yes.
That actually Uhuru did business with Glenn Maxwell's father. And who died, who was killed.
Yes.
And remember, that's still Mossad.
Yes.
That's entirely Mossad. So when you look, then you realize the world is ruled by an evil entity, an evil cabal.
Yes.
Who major on children sacrificing. So you look at this, you see now the spiritual side of it. Yes. Blackmail. So they have videos of Trump sexually assaulting girls. So you have this video of you. So you'll have to do everything we want. But at the same time, you see now this is blackmail, but at the same time, there's a spiritual connotation to the same. These people are actually Satanists, literally. These people are doing the work of the devil. Okay? Yes. And it implicates more than 70% of American leadership, the entire Senate, the entire Congress in America. Yeah. You saw that Clinton, Hillary Clinton, or actually before the Senate the other day.
They were called the Senate Committee.
Senate Committee to answer questions.
Yes.
But with all this, and don't forget, what they released was just 3% of the files, which is actually more than 3 million files. 3%.
Yeah.
Look at the hit. And they were actually baiting, they're just baiting Trump. Let's release this. Let's see if you don't go to war. Actually, he had a time frame. You have days to go to war, otherwise we release more. Okay? So we are actually having the Iran-US war because of the Epstein files. Because if it was not the Epstein files, Trump would not have gone to war. Because that is what Israel, and Israel literally controls America, runs the American government. Actually, there is no America without Israel. Where did the dollar come from? Where did we get the dollar from?
Tell us.
The dollar is owned by the Rothschild family. The Rothschild is an Ashkenazi Khazarian. I hope you're connecting.
I'm connecting, yeah.
We have 13 families that run the world. And one of those families is the Rothschild family. The patriarch Rothschild had 5 sons. In the days of even before the First and Second World War, that were distributed across Europe to open banks. In France, in Vienna, and those 5 families are the ones that run the world until today. The same Rothschild family, through, I told you 13 families, the Rockefeller family came. Remember, Britain colonized America. Okay? Britain colonized America, just like Africa was colonized majorly by Britain. Britain was colonized by America. Britain colonized America.
Yeah.
Who are these people who are colonizing, who are controlling the money? The 13 families. When they came to America and conquered America and wiped out a generation of the Red Indians, because what we call America, the white Americans, are actually not Americans. America belonged to the Red Indians, who still have there's like a small population still there. They collapsed the money system of that country, and they introduced something called the Federal Reserve Bank of America. It is a private entity.
Federal Reserve is not like the.
It's like the central bank, but it's owned by an individual. It's not the. It's not.
So the chairman of the Federal Reserve is the owner, or is a custodian?
Actually, the entire. Let me give you a picture. There are 3 the richest Americans who were against the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve Bank of America created a system whereby money was supposed to be privately controlled and owned. Okay? What did they do? What did they do? They built something we call the Titanic. And the Titanic was the elite, what you've seen on movies called the Titanic.
Yes.
It was the, like the high end. cruise for the who is who in America then.
The affluent.
The affluent, the top
Yes.
cream,
The
like
elite.
I would say the political elite of Kenya.
Yes.
So they are to cruise. The three richest Americans who are against the Federal Reserve Bank of America were in that.
Oh.
In that, yes.
So the sinking of that Titanic was an assassination.
It was an assassination. The owner of Titanic pulled out from the voyage a day before, but had tricked the others to be there. That's why the three died. And a few days after that, it was legislated in America that the Federal Reserve became legal in the US. That's how the dollar was introduced in America.
Okay.
And that dollar, remember, is privately owned. The dollar was pegged on gold for many years until the other day. They removed the gold peg on it. So now the dollar is pegged on crude oil, on fuel. So every country in the world that is manufacturing, that has crude oil, you have to trade your oil using the dollar. That's the only thing that holds the dollar. So if today many countries in the world abandon the trading their oil in dollars, the dollar will collapse. There's nothing that holds the dollar. So then you've realized, even in the Iran war, you've realized the Iranians are saying, just read the subtle messages. Now you're going to be buying oil in Chinese yen. Russia, the Jews said, no, we are going to be buying oil now in Chinese. Are you seeing the language? Actually, it's about the dollar. They want to collapse the dollar. Isn't it as sort of...
But that has always been the intention of the BRICS community.
Yes, they want to step away. And actually, it's the reason why there are all these wars. It's because the BRICS want to step away from the dollar. Even when the president of Venezuela was captured, the fight is about oil and the dollar. Oil and the dollar. So why did I go to that? I went to that just trying to show you how the world is controlled. Oh yeah, I was connecting that with the Epstein files. Who runs the US? The entire US Assembly, the Congress is run by IPAC. IPAC is a lobby group there, Israeli lobby group. They control the presidency. They control who wins. They fund them. So you push their policies, they push their policies. That's why Israel will never go to war on their own. It's always America here, America here.
So as the issue of the Epstein files and all that, I would just wish you to also tell us what you know about the Jews owning all the P0RN in the world. I think you've mentioned that as
yeah. Yes. They literally, and it will shock everyone, the Jewish, I actually call them the fake Jewish. They're not Jewish. I've told you they've stolen an identity. They own everything in America. Every single thing. Talk about oil, the Rockefeller family, Jewish. Talk about the entertainment industry, it's the Jew. Talk about AI, is a Jew. What haven't we touched? It's a Jew. They own everything. They literally control the American economy. They control the American economy. They run the money. They run the money in every aspect of it. They're here in the pyramid. They sit up there.
But does that make them to be are they fulfilling the promise that was given to Abraham? That he shall be the father of the nations?
Is controlling money being the father of the nations?
Or because now you see the superpower. If at all you are controlling the superpower, they seem to be the father of all those nations. All those nations seem to serve under you, right? Maybe that is fulfilled.
I wouldn't say that. I think actually what they have, they've enslaved humanity. They've actually enslaved humanity. Because if they have that power, as that power brought good energy on earth, are they good people? Are they good people? They have every description of evil. They do everything bad. You know, how do we describe God and the devil? Have you realized we have so many gods and one devil? Do we have two devils in the world? Actually, think about it.
Okay.
We have one
Devil-
Satan
Okay.
from all religions. Go to Muslim, go to Christianity, go to Buddhism. How many devils do we have?
Seems to be one.
One.
I never thought of it like that.
Yes.
I
But
think
how many gods do we have? Millions and millions of gods. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. You have to see this is a built concept. But to me, as a human being, as a spiritual human being, what we call God and what we call Satan are described by their virtues or their values. When you talk about love, is God. When you talk about kindness,
maybe
is
for someone
God.
to give the blame and give
No,
the praise.
like you're taught to describe Mary. There's something you'll have to say about Mary. You cannot have two Marys. Mary Kathomi, even though someone comes and looks at me, you can only have a description of Mary as one.
Yes.
So there's the same. Who is God? God is love. God is kindness. God is humility. God is everything good. Who is Satan?